narrow down. Do you guys have like a specific intro you do? A little music or a little...
Yeah, so we have the I put together like a 3D, or not 3D yet, but the 2D animations of like our little faces and some like music intro to it. So
you're cartoonified.
Yeah, that's right. The Bitmojis.
I love it.
Bitmoji lifestyle.
I love like Bitmoji or just 8-bit kind of art.
Yeah.
Or whatever, just that classic kind of vintage video game look to it. Just
the best.
I love it. Like I don't even put on cue like everybody else. I'm like, get in there, get to the microphone. Right now.
We know.
Right now.
We know.
Ladies and gentlemen, hark and welcome to the Trial and Aaron podcast. Your host Aaron, and with me today, Ray McIntire, sir. Good to have you. Goddamn pod, rocking the ring.
That's right.
Rocking the ring. Nice.
I'm married.
Metal.
Still married.
Still married. That a babe. That a
Yep.
babe. How's Eva McIntire doing?
She's great.
Solid?
She's great. Yeah, she's killing it. She's out on a barn. She's working at a farm basically. I've migrated to a laptop basically for my work life, and she is out there lifting hay bales. So.
Lifting hay bales, staying fit, staying just ready for battle at any time.
Absolutely.
Does she have one of these hats? One of these bad boys?
No, she doesn't get. Those are special folks that get those, my man.
What do we have going on here, Ray? What is this hat? What is this logo?
Major League University. Major League University. So I guess light breakdown for people that don't know.
Please let me know.
I finished when COVID hit. I stopped coaching. Basically, I had to come back up north. And my college teammate Austin Byler had already started a company, Major League University, dedicated to teaching mindset and leadership. Right. So I jumped on with them. We've kind of just taken off video, podcast, and really hit the marketing side hard, and then showing up. So it's been 2 years almost now. So
that's something you texted me last night. Just showing up's big. 12K plus on Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of like just baffling. It's something that you start off, maybe it'll be something, maybe it's not. It turned out it's something.
Yeah.
Like, what, is this something you're able to do like full time now? Like.
Yeah. So it's been awesome.
So let's go.
It's been so cool because especially when you're starting a new business, like you just don't know, and we're not in like a flourishing economy right now either. So. For him to be able to work me in as a full-time employee over the last year has been awesome, and has really given me freedom to go do things for the company that I want to do, which is pretty cool.
It's hard to be like, I got to do it for work, but it's like I kind of want to do it. So is it like, do you feel like you're cheating the system a little bit, that you're doing something that you love and can get paid for?
I feel like I'm winning the video game of life. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the biggest goal. And it's funny because I watch your podcast, obviously, and I think about you a lot in the terms of we talk to people and say, hey, find your why and go after that and be the most authentic version of you, because that's like the best way for you to be happy, right?
Absolutely.
Every time I listen to you talk, it's the most authentic version of you. You know?
I'm trying.
It's awesome. It's really cool. So.
Love like the video game references of just because you can easily parallel like what's going on in life. Is my health meter as high as it can be? Is the happiness meter about like the social or listening possibly? Because sometimes that's you just get so excited about what you want to say next, and you're just doing a shit job at listening to the other person.
Yeah.
But before we get more into Major League Universe, that's going to be a huge proponent of this episode. Break down for the folks who don't know. I don't know how they wouldn't, but break down your path to Major League University. Like you left Winters High School, you're my shortstop, my guy, the heater,
the best.
And you went off from there to play collegiate baseball. What's been your relationship with baseball and the game, and what led you to where you're at now?
It's kind of wild ride. Was really fortunate. We were playing with the Gamblers up in
Gamblers, baby.
Yeah, baby. Up in Carson City. I don't know if you remember that tournament. It was
the turf field.
Scorching, 1,000 degrees.
I hated that. That was terrible.
Yep. So Miss Lucero actually was up there for that tournament, and she introduced me to a family member, a relative, who happened to be the head coach at Nevada, Gary Powers. I played a really good tournament, and I ended up walking on at Nevada.
Wolfpack.
Go Pack, baby.
Let's go, baby.
Played 4 years there. Was finishing up my 5th year. I was one of the typical college kids that just didn't finish in 4, so we had an additional, right?
That's the new norm these days.
That's right.
5 years.
Yep. So we did that, and at that time I was lucky that Jay Johnson had come in. He got the head job. He'd come from USD. kept me on as an ops guy, and then I ended up moving into a coaching role that second year because our coach left mid-year.
So he approached you like, hey, as a player, I could see that you translate as a coach. Would you want to stay on?
Yeah, well, it was funny because I had redshirted my first year, so I had an additional year. He actually asked me to stay on as a player, and I was already kind of in the position of like, hey, I'm ready to move on to coaching. He took a chance on me, which is awesome. He didn't know me at all, but he kept me on as like a grad assistant would be the first role that I took on, and then ops, and then volunteer assistant for that last semester to year. Crazy time. He ended up getting the head job at Arizona. I went with him to Arizona, which was incredible.
Taking his guys with him.
Oh, it was awesome, right? Went out there as the ops guy, worked there for 3 years. College World Series in 2016 trip. Runner-up to Coastal Carolina, which I'm pretty bitter about that still to this day.
Were you there like in Omaha, like championship game in the dugout,
Dude, yeah.
What was that atmosphere like? If we may digress, we'll digress, but we'll get back to it.
No, it's okay. This is perfect.
Championship atmosphere.
It was awesome. And anytime you're in the Midwest in the summers, there's a chance for like thunderstorms and rain, right? And so we win game 1, we lose game 2, game 3 we're lining up. We have everybody in the stands. And 20 minutes before first pitch, lightning strike, push it back, and at like 10:30 they go, we're not going to play the game tonight. They flip it to the next day. They bring in the guy that was supposed to start is no longer starting. It's their ace because he has an extra day of rest.
That's some horse shit.
Yeah.
That.
How about that?
I feel like it should have been the eligibility should have been when the game should have been played, but it's like, oh, I'm sorry, with you. Mother Nature.
It was crazy, dude.
So how'd the game turn out?
We ended up losing. We had a runner at second and third. We were down 1 in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs. An individual on our team struck out and ended our season. But
struck out looking?
No, he's swinging. He went down swinging. I mean,
still.
The biggest thing, it was nobody's fault. There's so many different plays in that series where you're like, God, we could have won it, but to be that close and not, it was tough. It's still tough.
Dude, I still think about the section championship sometimes.
Oh, yeah,
this
maybe.
Fucking junior year, that was just, whenever I'm having a good day, I'm like, all right, there we go, now I'm sad.
Can I remember it?
I can't stand it.
Yep. Or any Dixon football game we were ever a part of.
Fucking Christ, dude. I'm having a really good day, like, let's just ruin that.
Cheeks.
So, Arizona coaching.
Yep.
Met your wife there.
Yep.
No big deal.
No,
just
really.
Small life happening, I guess.
Yeah, she was a center fielder at Arizona. She had just graduated. She was actually working our youth camps, which is where I met her.
Oh, very good.
She way more athletic than I ever was, right? Like crazy athlete. From the middle of Virginia, so it's like she got there, ended up coming with me out to USD. So I went to University of San Diego, got a volunteer assistant job there, worked 2 years until 2.5 years till COVID goes, and then you know how it goes. Came back up north, so
came up here, and I feel like all the kind of broken road of just what you had to go through, including COVID, set you up for Major League University.
Yeah,
just to like go full board into it and have someone there that like supports you too.
Yeah, I was really hesitant, leaving baseball. I think the biggest reason for me was there's just no security, in the job field. And that, number one, you're leaving up to 18 to 22-year-old kids to like hopefully win for you.
Because that's job security.
That's job security. You win and you go. And if not, you get to either move on or find a new job, or really it's up to the head coach to stay or not. And if he moves, well.
So is it... I didn't really think about that. If it's like a head coach that brought you on, if he's gone, the chances are his staff is gone with him.
Either gone with him or not, right? Like if if they don't go, then they bring in a new head coach, and then the head coach is gonna hire his own staff.
I got you.
It's just a weird cycle that happens, and so you're either following the head coach, or in some cases the head coach goes, and then you're looking for another job. And when I had just gotten married, so in 2020 I was just like, you know what, I'm ready to get a little more grounding.
Stability's that, like, I don't know, when I'm thinking about what I want in a job, just knowing that I have that stable paycheck, because people that do freelance, whatever, it's feast or famine. I don't want to risk famine, I guess, even if the feast is a little bit smaller, by not indulging in whatever that profession is. Yeah. Stability's nice.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. Here we are.
OCD, just making sure, because
I've done that before.
Yeah?
I've done it before. It's not fun. The audio stays, though,
Audio's good, and then the bitch is like, because the video and then the audio recording separately, they don't mesh, so I gotta go in and make sure they're synced up, which there's been times where it's like my mouth's moving, just nothing's going on.
Choppy.
Or whatever.
Where do you edit it on?
GarageBand for the audio. I have a little sequence going on. GarageBand in the audio, and then put some music in it, and then go back and sync it up in iMovie. I need to upgrade to Premiere. Stop being a pussy.
Yeah, you do. I think there's an auto sync.
Auto sync? There's
got to be I'm pretty sure there's a feature where you can auto sync it.
Because that would save easily 45 minutes to an hour just getting it going, but
hey, who knows?
Here in the minor leagues, baby.
Here it is.
And then here you are. Just these hats are just. I'm juiced. Can't wait to put some sweat stains in it.
Yeah, buddy.
It's gonna be those big time. Well, moving on. Major League University. To the layperson, what would you say that is? We can round back to it.
Yeah, simplest thing would be mindset or leadership training, or both, for athletes from youth to college. Basically, we're hitting individuals, so we'll have online training or phone training for individual one-on-one training. We have group online training, and then we have camps, which are kind of like our three-headed deal there. And then Austin goes out and he does a lot of speaking in person with schools as well to hit all those too. But yeah, it's been good. It's been really challenging because I was a mental midget, as coach would say, right? You know,
all angles.
So learning that's been good. I think being able to call on a lot of things is even better, because I can go, I was you know, like I've been in your situation. So for me, my biggest thing is I like to hit on the youth camps. I love that part of it, and it really fills my cup, as they say.
Indeed.
So I try and do more of that. Austin does a lot of the speaking, which is great, because I'm not a great public speaker, or I don't enjoy it. Excuse me. Let me retract.
I got you.
I don't enjoy it very much, so it gives me a little anxiety, to be honest. But.
Is there a specific age group you like? Because you just had a youth camp here, like in Winters?
In Winters. Yeah. Shout out to John Rodriguez, big time.
The guy. Johnny.
Yeah, no, he helped us line it up. Really awesome. We had about 30 to 50 kids.
That's a huge turnout.
Across 2 days, yeah, and that was limited. I know we wanted to make sure we had a bunch of the kids were really focused on baseball out there, and John and the league covered it. It was awesome. They hooked it up. So we're definitely going to be out again. We're trying to line something up potentially in the summer. We're trying to avoid a little bit of that heat we have coming through right now.
Little bit.
But yeah, no, the youth camps, I would say probably the 10 to 13 is my favorite age, though, because they kind of have a little bit more feel for it. You can get a little more in depth in the training, but I love it all.
It's tough watching, say, farm league, or kids that just can barely hold the bat, and it's good to instill some sports in them when they're that young. But it's just kind of at this point, just see if you want to play or not. If you're out chasing butterflies, then get off the field.
Do your thing, dude. Go do your thing.
When you tell a kid, hey, you're not that guy, pal. Well, get the hell off the team.
Well, we were talking. I don't know who I was talking with. Somebody on Twitter just today about my mom had said it. We were talking about the yips. So
the yip.
She goes,
mental yips.
Yeah, she's like, I think today parents cause yips in kids more than anything.
It's a good call.
I was like, dude, quote of the year, Mama Kath.
Yeah.
Because it's just, there's not enough parents that, and I was fortunate, my dad wasn't one that grinded me on the drive home, you know. But there's a lot to do, and I have parents in situations that'll come up before lessons or games, and they'll straight up say, so-and-so is having a tough time with this and this and this, right in front of the kid, and it's man,
that's tough. How much do you guys counsel? It sounds like it's a form of sports therapy, and do you have to address the parents sometimes? Because I didn't even think about asking you that, but talk about a mental just impact that parents have on their kids growing up and thinking if they're worth a damn.
Yeah, it's hard because they're the ones paying for it, right? So a lot of the time, so what are you supposed to do? You find a happy medium. You address some things that would help the situation. Hey, it's best that we just let him work on his own, or do things like that. But other times, you gotta just let it go, and then you talk to the kid and you go, these are ways you can cope with that or deal with it. It's hard because I think everyone has some sort of something going on, right? Whether it's parents or a girlfriend or home life or whatever. So to hit the right thing, and to see it right in front of you, it's hard not to say, hey, just stop, right? Just stop.
But it's like, where do you step in as like this paid consultant, but at the same time you're a human being, and psychology and sports, I mean, they're fucking hand in hand.
Yeah.
And just how you guys are approaching that, I think it goes so much further than what people might think, just looking at, leadership and mental performance. Yeah. There's probably a ton that you'd want to go and like help the home life so the kid can perform sports wise.
No doubt. And
that's
sorry, it's just, if you haven't read it, Matheny Manifesto, Mike Matheny, best book on that all time. He talks about he's obviously a manager in the big leagues. He walked away from the game to coach his kids for a little bit, and he saw all of this, right? Like the brutality of parenting and coaching in youth sports. And so like he wrote this like manifesto to the parents saying like, if you want to be a part of this, we're about training and getting better, and you can sit in the back, you don't cheer and you don't boo, like there's no in between. You just be a parent, be encouraging. And I encourage anybody to read it if you're a parent.
Solid. For parents to read to help their kid like have the best sporting, whatever the sport is, just kind of shut up, I guess. Just let them experience it without your emotional flooding.
Yeah, it's who's Caesar Milan is the dog whisperer, right? He does more time training the owners, right, than the dogs. Like you don't teach that. So like this is my way of training the owners. Like, here you go, read this book, let's start there, and then when you come out of it, if you have more to say, let's go from there. But I always, if it's on that fringy stuff, I say, hey, let's try this.
I got you.
Yeah,
that's sick. Of just finding having a kid, every kid's a different equation, just outside looking in, just how am I going to figure this kid out, what's going to appeal to them, what's going on in their home life, because it's sports straight up therapeutic for me growing up, like an escape or whatever bullshit's going on in life. And it'd be tough that life is so bad or so difficult that sports don't give you that release. It's like it's not enough.
Right.
Because you're just, I don't want to upset dad or whatever. Or
well, let's talk about your golf real quick.
Oh, boy.
So if you were to go golfing and every time you went out was like the last time you said, most recently you said it was the most, if you knew every time you were going to go out and do that, would you do it anymore?
I would not.
Or would you even want to, right? Like,
not at all.
That's how those kids feel, you know? And it's brought on by, a lot of times, the parents. So, like, the fear of failure in a game of failure is a real thing, but to not have fun doing it.
Failure is a huge part of the game. I was still able to, believe it or not, have fun. I was with cousin Chad.
Yeah.
Having some Keystone. There was like a 15 of Keystone. I realized that's just college level swill, but it was only $14 at the dollar store.
Hey.
Okay, now.
All good, baby.
Yes.
Shame. Shame.
So, like, one of the first questions I had for you, in your experience just as a player, a coach, and doing what you've been doing for the past couple of years, why can't an athlete just kill it one day, go hard, play a great game, and then blunder in the next day in regards to, like, their mental performance?
Yeah, that's a tough one, right? Like, because like you said, everyone's a little bit different for their things. Some of it becomes they become aware of something. Like, I think that's a big thing, right? Like, for example, if I lined you up to hit like 15 putts in a row, I said do it fast, you'd probably bang a bunch of them home, miss some, but you don't think about it. But if I said, all right, these next one, I really want you to keep your wrists and arms super straight, like, you just become super stiff, right? And then for the next 15 putts, all you're thinking about is like that, right?
And you're freaking out.
Can't putt anymore, like it. And so sometimes it's that. Sometimes they become aware of something. Sometimes it's just day to day, right? Like, athletes just don't feel as good, and then when they see the failure, they realize there is kryptonite out there, right? Like, they're not Superman anymore, and so now they notice it. So I think it's a lot more times it's something comes into the situation, or they find a little bit of failure, and then they realize, oh, like, I'm human, like, I'm going to fail.
They just let it creep in their
mind.
Yeah,
man.
Oh my God. I was thinking about golf, which in itself, I mean, such a mindfuck.
Yeah.
Of just trying, I do well when I'm not thinking about it, but at the same time, you kind of have to think about it and don't think about it at the same time. Yeah. If that makes any sense. And I was having this discussion, I was playing PGA 2K with Skylar and Calvert last night, of what sport is so closely related to golf. I'd say baseball is probably on the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
Having that one-on-one interaction, that's like you stepping up to the tee box, and it's just see what you can do. And like, are you mentally there?
Well, and think about how much time you have in between at bats and how much time you have in between shots. Like, if you're not riding in a cart, juicing it up, it's like a lot of times walking, you have so much time in between shots.
You fucking
get a bad one. And we're thinking about how bad that one was, like 90% of the walk, right?
That's tough. Yeah, that.
Talk about reinforcement.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I guess in that same vein, do you think a player, because we're talking about day to day, how it's just sports.
Yeah.
Do you think, if I may be a little poetic, that a player can only be so good on any given day? Say it's just fated, you're going to have a C+ type day. Does mental toughness help that player? Say they're going to have not the best day, but they're going to do like the best that they can with that kind of like threshold, that limit that day gives on them. Because the next day they could be 100% and kill it, but some days you're just not quite there. Do you think that's true for every athlete?
100%. And baseball players are a good example because of how many at bats a season, or how long the season is, right? Like consistency is what baseball's built on. And so when you see a guy that has those guys that are in the big leagues have some of the toughest mental, strength in the world, I guess, as you would say. They're there because they're able to play up to their ceiling on that day more often.
Yep.
Now, Johnny Cool Guy might be like this guy, have this much ability day in and day out, a high level, but they're showing up at that 50% always. So when their level drops, like they're at that 25% versus the guy that's always going to be raising up to the challenge, whether he's feeling 100% or not. So I think it's just, yes, being able to reach your potential more consistently is like a big deal with those athletes.
How do you explain, say, freak athletes that are just kind of divas? They're out drinking, partying, like a Ric Flair. He can show up for the championship match the next day hungover, but still put on a show.
Dude,
not Ric Flair, but say like a John Daly, or Deion Sanders. You can go out and rage all night, show up at the Super Bowl the next day, and you just know you're gonna. Is like arrogance that powerful?
Part of it.
Yeah.
I think so. I think you fake it till you make it, and then if that's what got you there, like why would you change, right? Like so, sometimes, most of the time, it catches up to you. There are very few people, right? Like Babe Ruth, Ric Flair, and John Daly are the three, right? Like I don't even know anybody else, but Deion Sanders, there you go. But that just doesn't happen very often because those people always get caught. They can't play at their best all the time. But those people that do, that is their routine. Like if the guy has to go have 5 beers every night before pitching the next day, but he's, that's what he does, like, sure, like you're an adult, do your thing. But
you said a word that I incorporate a lot because I'd say slightly OCD. I have my routine with things. How important is routine? And say just, like, are you guys dealing primarily with baseball players?
A lot of baseball, a lot of softball,
Okay.
But we do have other athletes. Some swimmers, I think, is interesting.
I got you.
You
Let's
get
go
it, right?
swim team, baby.
So, but yeah, definitely branching out and then seeing a lot more of the athletes, or just across the board because you're going into schools a little bit more too. But yeah, you'll see it. I don't know. It's just different day to day, really, I guess.
What a routine should be for each athlete.
Yeah. Let's see. How do I put this? We teach routines probably more than anything, I would say.
Okay.
We intro with that because it's like, hey, how are you going about your day-to-day stuff, and something you can stay consistent at when the game itself isn't. So like if we can teach a consistent routine, whether it works or not, like you're eventually going to find something that works for you. If that's chicken at lunch and whatever before your game, stay consistent with it, and then we'll see what the other factors are that are contributing to your errors or your struggles.
Cultivate good superstitions, I guess. Like you're wearing these socks or whatever, but at the same time, hopefully, say you don't have the right socks or whatever, and it doesn't just mentally fuck them. I'm not ready for it.
Yeah, you don't want that, right? You don't want it to fall on that. But
speaking of routine, when you go up to bat, what's your like tap on the plate, 2 swings, or like what are you doing when you're up at the plate?
So I'm still playing men's league. How about that?
Yeah, let's
still
go.
Doing it.
Roy Hobbs?
No, I'm playing out in Sacramento.
Okay.
Sacramento men's baseball league or something. But I've changed a lot. But I've come to the point where I used to step in and look at the foul pole. Now I just look at a part in the bat. We always try and find a focal point.
Squeezing.
Yeah, I'm just a little relaxed.
All right.
Take a good breath. I have like these cleat marks that look like a smiley face on there.
I got you.
Good breath at that, and then it's right foot dig in. I have to really step my left foot across because I like getting up on the thing, and then just at one tap and then just relax. I think the biggest thing is I get so amped up when I try and hit that I just try and calm down.
You cocking the bat this way, lifting the leg up super high before you just...
No, actually, just calm. So I recently have picked up a little bit of a Nolan Arenado, like kind of waggle with both feet.
I got you.
You know, just kind of just a little bit, and then it's just become. I've started thinking about hockey a lot because I like to fly open when I swing. I spin big time. So being able to like think about a slap shot,
explosive
keeps
twist in
tight.
motion. I didn't realize how important, because during the alumni game, pulled the old oblique and warming up.
Did you?
Just didn't realize how important that, or just how much torque and how much your body twists just in every much throwing, hitting, even like running to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But just we do so much with our torsos and body. We just take it for granted once it's all working 100%. But playing little infant outfield, I'd say reawaken with the winners varsity baseball team. Just lit a fire in my ass. Just reawoke that kind of love for baseball because I hadn't played in like 10 years. And just hearing that chatter, just that energy of your teammates, and maybe their mental state can influence a kid who's down.
Yeah.
You know, teammates. How big is that in your guys' like mantra?
Working with teams, especially, that's become the goal. We do an exercise where, and we got it from Dean Wellham's Team Elite, if you need to know. But it's a rock, paper, scissors challenge. Makes it very basic because generally teams that are struggling are the mopey types, right? Like the drag your blanket types.
Hate those teams.
I know.
Terrible.
So to get them out of that, we say, hey, rock, paper, scissors, one-on-one. If you win, that person now has to back you. They're on your team.
Oh, I got you.
Then now two of you are going. Your only job as the guy hyping is to be the most hyped person ever if they win, right? And then you and me would go, boom, boom, boom. Oh, you beat me. Now the two of us join your crew. And right? So
that's sick.
Battle Royale via rock, paper, scissors. And then you get down to the final, and then like somebody wins, and like 15 people on this team are just hyped, right? And like, how simple is that to make it? And so like, if you can bring that kind of energy to a game of rock, paper, scissors, like you're playing baseball. Like this is something you love to do. Like I think that's the number one thing we do with teams. Individually, and I've talked with a player at UC Davis about this. When you're struggling, we think everyone's looking at me. It's my fault. I'm losing it. But when you pick somebody up or you're helping somebody else, like you're adding to the team without even like trying, you know? So like if your goal that day is to pick up as many people as possible, you'll come out feeling good because you did your job and the focus becomes off of you. Like you can just go play. So
you ever had a teammate do that for you, like playing college, or because I can only imagine that the pressure beyond high school ball, maybe it's a little bit more. Like, do you put pressure on yourself when you're playing football?
Always, dude. It was I was a bullpen catcher coming in, basically.
Very good.
150 pounds coming out of high school, 5 whatever. Just like not ready for college baseball.
Did you tell yourself that, or was it just kind of like a fact?
I walked out of Winters High School thinking I was the dude. Like, you know.
You're our dude, though.
That's right. But, yeah, you kind of get woken up a little bit when you start facing those guys at D1 and really across college. College baseball is really hard. So we're there, and there's definitely times, freshman year especially, where I was like, I don't belong here. You know, the imposter syndrome kicks in, which is something we all do have from time to time. And then after my, I want to say it was December my freshman year, I got brought into the office and was told, hey, like, you're the last one cut. You're 36 out of 35 on the roster. So you have 2 options. You can leave or stay. Like, you can stay, red shirt, try again next year. We're going to try and out-recruit you. Or you can go transfer to junior college. And for me, I loved the school so much. It was close enough to home. I would be able to get the 4-year experience whether I did it or not. So, like, I stayed. And that next year, I was told, hey, you're 35 out of 35. You just made it.
Let's go.
Which was awesome, right? Like,
so you tried again. Like, you stuck with it. How hard was it to, like, not take that as, like, I can only imagine how devastating that was, like, what you're going through. Hey, you're not good enough to make it.
It was definitely hard, ego crushing, I guess, for that first year, right? Because you're watching, and I'm rooming with dudes that are going on the team, like traveling and all this stuff, which sucks.
So you had to sit there and watch them live it up, play the game while you're just sitting at home, just
Kansas University, week 1, you know, like, and I'm just sitting at home. But it lit a fire under me a little bit and made me kind of realize, like, I need to be better, because otherwise, like, what am I came to college for 2 years and didn't try. Like, that's not it. So
did you need humbling looking back at it?
I don't know if I needed humbling. I think the biggest thing was I needed to be shown that there was more. You know, I don't think it was humble, because I didn't think I was like that tight when I got there at all.
You never had that like aura about you either, like, oh, it's Ray, thinks this shit don't stink.
No, that wasn't the goal. That wasn't the goal. But you need a little bit of that for baseball, I think. You know, like, you need a little bit of that edge, which helped me, and I got it back as I continued to play. But that first freshman year was like struggling at the bat, like struggling to play defense, like just not finding my why.
Were you just in your own head about it, or just you're like, oh, it was survival mode overtaking like the joy of the game?
1000%.
Yeah,
that's it. That is it. Because like, part of it, if I was a jack dude, right? Like, at least in the weight room, I was winning. You know, but when I'm getting put with like the little guy group, you know,
they segregated you guys.
Oh yeah, because like you can't lift it. I can't lift it a rack with a guy that's 230. That's not gonna work. So me and the little guys at the far end are, you know, doing our thing, and so it's a battle between us, you know. And then those little guys were already playing, so now it's like, God, I got a lot of work to do, you know. But yeah, it was a good experience, and I feel like I'm definitely who I am today because of it. Like, I wouldn't trade that for the world.
You need the failures.
Yeah.
Fucking smile. I mean, a failure, I guess, technically, but just such a learning experience and a way for you to grow. And did you learn a lot more from your teammates as well as the coaches?
Yeah. I immediately, when it happened, I reached out to one of the upperclassmen that I knew had gone through a very similar situation. He was a junior. He had redshirted 2 years prior, like, same deal. And he gave me very clear advice, like, it's not the end of the world, number one. Like, you're fine. You can go play somewhere else if you want. You can stay if you want. It's like your choice. That's cool. And number two, like, you can make it here. You just have to work. You know, like, you're good enough to do it. You just have to work. And for me, that took a lot of pressure off, because it was like, I don't have to be this guy for anybody but myself, right? Like, and then when that became, hey, let's go have fun and go earn this thing, I got a lot better and enjoyed it and learned so much as we were going that, I mean, it was awesome. Great trip.
What was that turning point for you? I guess talking to that guy, then where along the way was it not survival mode, but you found your why and you were able to play to like as loose, because you're never better than when you're loose.
Yeah, oh yeah.
When you're just out there being the sport of baseball, I guess you're in that meta state. Like, when was that turning point for, like, I guess you stopped stressing so much and you just played like Ray?
There's two different points, I think. Sophomore, junior year, I became very talented on defense. Like, I focused on that a lot. And so,
because you were never before, right?
Right, I got really good at defense. And then we had a freshman shortstop that came in, and I kind of like took him under my wing. And
that's
so
cool.
Like being able to do that and work with him while I improved, I really started focusing on like, hey, I want my defense in pregame to be like the sickest pregame ever, right? Like web gym status stuff. And that was the goal. And so I started having so much fun doing that. And then it wasn't really until after everything finished up that I was in Washington playing summer ball, or Oregon, playing summer ball. After my 4 years, I knew that I wasn't going to play when I came back. This is when Jay had done it. So I had a summer just to play. And I was like, my only goal, because I didn't play a whole lot, is to make the All-Star game for this summer and just ball out, you know. Ended up doing it. Like, had so much fun that summer that, like, and for me, it was like, I was playing for me, which is hard to find, you know.
And just at that top tier level of just, that's got to be sick, knowing you can perform with the best of competition.
Yeah, obviously we weren't in the SEC. Like, I was playing summer ball against some younger dudes, like, when I was playing that summer. But at the same time, like, yeah, it was so cool that, like, to be recognized, I think, after, I think it was 22 at the time, 22 years of baseball, and kind of culminating in, like, hey, this is it. Like, good job. You know, move on to something else. It was really cool.
That's dope. You're able to kind of have that cathartic, that closure, I guess. Did mentoring that young shortstop kind of poke at you a little bit? Hey, maybe coaching is a possibility, or did you think about coaching before that?
I think I started thinking about coaching probably like my sophomore year, like of college, not high school. I think that was about the time where I realized, like, I'm not getting drafted, you know, like, and if I'm getting drafted, like, I don't really want to grind through the minor leagues, like, it just wasn't my goal. And I'd always liked working with kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, hey, this might be an opportunity. It just really happened to be perfect timing that Jay got that job.
Yeah.
And I can move into it. So it was a lot of fun working with him and like kind of mentoring him for sure. He actually is a coach himself now at Nevada, which is cool to see. But like just being able to go have fun and mentor dudes on your own team as the upperclassman was really, really kind of a push towards it for sure.
It's cool having that. I like being an 8th grade buddy to a kindergartner. There's always that kind of being a mentor. It's nice having someone look up to you, I guess, or just and have that relationship, something special. Because I remember having people take me under the wing, whether it's on Gamblers or whatever, just older guys. There's something nice knowing that this older, tougher guy has your back.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, it's cool.
Shout out to Nick Hedrick.
Nick Hedrick, the
Lucero
swan dive into the fray, the one baseball brawl I've ever been in.
Yep, shout out.
Gamblers.
Gleason.
Michael Gleason.
Yep, all those guys have played a huge role in my development for sure. And that's, like you said, being able to mentor a younger guy and pass the buck.
And have all those dog fights we were in high school. Not like actual fights, but just close, tough games. Those games against Sutter, just... Yeah. Even if you don't win, you have that experience now, like high pressure and just being able to keep composure.
Coach Ingalls prepared me so well for college baseball.
Yeah.
Like, I swear, like even if your talent wasn't there, you would have been able to hang in Nevada. Like because your mindset.
That's what I think it was Jake Roberts, one of the kids that he went on to play Sonoma State a little bit, and just I interviewed him for the paper, and just Ingalls' mentality just hitting liners during infield outfield. I was more nervous for infield outfield before any baseball game. The game itself is nothing. If I can make it through infield outfield, like all right boys, like we're good to go.
That's right. If we didn't get pulled off, it was a good day, you know.
Damn. What's a prime example of mental toughness that you've seen, either you're playing or seen a kid display, or just maybe preparation? I know it's kind of an open-ended question, but if there's anything that comes to mind of just that that kid was like locked in.
Yeah, you know, I think there's been a lot of cases of that. I think holistically, Zach Gibbons and Cody Rammer were two. He was an infielder and outfielder at Arizona that year. We went to the College World Series. They both on the season had over 100 hits each, which is absurd, right? Like you play 56 games in a regular season. And so like I think across the board that consistency and mental toughness for them was one that stood out. I think one that kind of put it into perspective for me in that same trip, Bobby Dahlbeck plays for the Red Sox now. He comes in to pitch. Error drops behind Cody Rammer at second base, or it kicks one. Next pitch gives up a hung changeup out of the park. Gives up the lead, and this is Game 3 of the College World Series to end it, right? And like Raymer, dude, this is wild. You look up the video; it's incredible. So like they bring him up to the mound. Jay goes to pull him out, right? Bobby gets somebody else in. Raymer's like in tears, you know, middle of the game, and
people are seeing it. Like you could see him.
Oh yeah, like it was air lifted the air out of everything, you know. And so like, and Dahlbeck goes up and like puts his arm around him. He's like, "You're good," like that. And like in that moment, for a guy to have given up a game-leading homer on a changeup belt high that was belted, you know, after an error that would have gotten him out of the inning, and to go right up to that guy, go right up to that guy, and say, "Hey, like you're good." Like that was something that's always stood out as like, and maybe he didn't perform in that moment, but like to have the feel or like perspective on the situation at that time, like that's always something that stood out to me.
Don't crush this kid's like career. It's already gonna be tough enough just with this memory.
Yeah.
Just now he's also gonna remember this guy had my back.
Yeah, always. Which so cool.
Oof. That's a.
I know.
That's something. I guess the flip side of that question, what's like an absolute mental collapse? I guess.
I mean, other than my own mental collapse on...
You don't need to call anybody else out, I guess.
In golf, yes. I mean, you see it a lot on the golf course because, it can just pile up, you know? For me, I almost cracked 80 one time, and I had a five...
No shit.
I had a 5-footer to crack.
And?
No dice. So it's
what was Razor's reaction to that?
Oh, not frustrated because that was the best round I'd ever shot, hands down. You know, not even close. But at the same time, going damn, But I thought about it, right? Like it was in the
Would have been a 79.
Would have been 79, first one ever. Probably only.
Did you two-putt that at least? Did you put it in afterwards?
Yeah, no, it was good two-putt, but it was just. But after you missed that first one, you're like, oh Jesus, don't miss another one. You know.
There's nothing like it's so funny. Talk about mentality and perspective. A 20-foot bogey putt on 1 foot, you'll have more chances of making than like a 2-foot fucking birdie.
Cody Romero, prime example of a 1-footer, lean back, just putt it, and it's usually in because it's like no thoughts. But the minute you go rigid, it's over.
Oh my god, that 2 feet might as well. I don't know. I've never mind fucked myself more than a 2-foot birdie putt.
No doubt.
Hold on. Debbie Gertz texted me real quick.
All good.
They're going to Lake Tahoe, her and old Benny Blue. With the
good
lad,
name for it.
their dog Ragnar. Little Ragnar, little goofy yellow lab, just doesn't stop wiggling. He's still a puppy. He's just in a dog's body.
Nice.
It's just a goofy little fucker.
How old?
I would say just around 2. Still just young pup. You just squish his face, and he's still like the biggest lap dog.
Yeah, hyper. Like
absolutely. Yeah, big athlete, big time athlete. Like a Gronkowski.
Nice.
That's it.
Love him.
Big barrel chested. Goodness gracious. Yeah, mental meltdowns and that kind of. Maybe I'll save this question. Well, what advice would you give Will Smith in terms of being more mentally tough? Is it a good thing to go up and just slap your pitcher when he's not doing well?
I mean, talk about going into life knowing you're gonna fail sometimes. So, how about that, right? Like, that's I don't know about Will and Jada's situation.
I don't know if I want to know.
No, that's a tough deal.
So I want to get your thoughts on some of the best athletes that I've seen just play with such raw emotion, but at the same time, it's kind of a double-edged sword. But because that can cost you, because it's like emotions takes over your composure. Yeah. And the prime example is, say, Draymond Green kicks LeBron in the nuts, gets booted for the next game. They lose the NBA Finals. If he was there, like maybe they still lose, but at least he would have been there for the next game. And just is there a middle ground between playing with those crazy emotions, but at the same time, if you like lessen that, would that athlete still be as effective?
That's what you think, right? Is like if you tell Draymond to chill, like, do you even get there?
He can't do it. I don't think he can.
I don't think so either, because that's the player he is, you know. And I think there are, especially on the pitcher's mound, like that is one where Scherzer can be hyped up all the time, ultra aggressive, versus. I don't know, Nate Bumgarner, who is the opposite and very relaxed. Like, he never showed. I like the guys that have a little fire because, that's who you want on your team, right?
They can inspire, like, their their hustle plays can inspire the team, though, get you fired up.
No doubt. But they can also dampen the team when they're the slaps, right? Yeah. Or they get kicked out of, and for the next playoff game, like, they're out. Like, those things, there is a double-edged sword, like you said. I think the best thing is to have those guys and have them be great teammates.
Yeah.
If they can just be in your face against you, but when you're on your team, like, be the best teammates ever, that's the Hall of Famer.
Love those guys.
Love them. Hate playing them. But love
they're on their team, like, everybody hates on them until they're on your team, and then you're like, that's my dog.
My boy.
Like, a dog.
That's my boy.
Dog.
That's right.
It's as a pitcher, I'm not a pitcher, but to pitch with emotion, just motherfucker. Like, if all you're doing is pumping heat, I guess, is anger good for heat, or can it affect the changeup or a curveball? Yeah. Can you throw a curve angry? I don't know.
Can you throw strikes with it? I think is the biggest question. Is like, if you can pitch with that, and you need to bring it every day. You can't be that guy on Wednesday and then be the dog on Thursday. You have to be that same dude. Which it's tough because Scherzer practices that in his bullpens. Like, he looks angry in his bullpens.
I do like that.
Which is awesome, right? If you're that guy all the time, but the hard part is when people start using it as, hey, I'm gonna get pumped up this time, and it's like fake energy, then that can be so deflating.
Everybody else is like, this guy
acting. Right?
You can feel it, though. You can feel authenticity. I think it was somebody who's juiced, and I love seeing players like have each other's back. Say there's guys that don't get along, but come game time, the other guys that have each other's back, I guess. I don't know, sports are just dope like that, I guess.
I love it.
They mend bridges. Can sports save the world? I think they can. Or athletics, I guess.
Athletics? I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think sports bring people together enough.
Truly.
You know, I really World Cup coming up. How about that? I don't know where it's at.
Me neither. I have no idea, but somewhere, and hopefully the impoverished people that built everything will enjoy it for those couple months.
I hope so.
And then they'll just fall apart.
Just bring a little money to the area.
It's nice. Good for them.
Good.
Like Brazil. Who knows what's going on with the World Cup. I guess they're called white elephants. If when there's a huge event, say like in Greece or wherever, where there's Olympics or the World Cup, all these huge buildings are made, and then after the fact, who's taking care of them?
Yeah.
What money's going into?
It's crazy.
They just become overgrown with weeds and shit, and that's...
Yeah, because what events are you going to host, for that many people?
Making mud pies or something.
Do we have... Olympics are coming United States soon,
I think they might be. I heard some grumblings that there's something coming. That or the World Cup, or we're in contention for something at least.
Hey, bring it on.
We could use it.
Once in my lifetime, I'd like to go,
Olympics? Olympics or World Cup?
Either or. I think the World Cup would probably be more intense.
Yeah.
But we never have a team in it,
We never have a
Our team that's going to go far.
The one sporting event, it's not anyone specific, but I would love to go to the UK over there. Just have wake up at 5, go to a pub, start drinking, just have that.
Would be so sick.
Just go there, watch the football game, and just lose our shit. Get the yeah, just going off, and then afterwards go and drink more.
Dude,
hopefully not getting fights. UK,
Scotland, Ireland, somewhere out there.
Ireland
would be sweet.
Ireland would be awesome. Play some golf over there.
Yeah, I think I'm in for all of it.
Yeah,
all the above.
Sounds good. Let's go. Bringing over the is it MLU? Just nice, quicker. Yeah, MLU. I like a good little acronyms there. Yeah. And then it's the podcast you have. It's the
Champion School podcast. We've been trying to get that thing switched on Apple. It's been a deal. But Champion School podcast, presented by Major League University. If you go to the Major League University YouTube channel, we have full extensions there.
All the contact.
But yeah, it's been good. We got some really good guests. We've started getting more big leaguers coming in. Matt Strom was in last week or 2 weeks ago with the Red Sox. We have had some,
that's sick.
Dude, it's been awesome.
You a little starstruck when you talk to some of these big leaguers?
At first I was, Ryan O'Hearn and some other dudes with the Royals, Tyler Zuber. First time we were talking to him, even podcasting in general, I think you've probably gotten much better as you've gone, right? Obviously, you're actually never mind. Not Aaron. Aaron's been a dude. Bunzy's been a dude from day one, but I've gotten a lot better personally. Because again, it goes back to the public speaking. I get nervous sometimes when I sit down to talk, even if it's right here and I know thousands of people are watching this right now. So, yeah. Again, I've gotten better. It's been awesome getting to know some of those dudes, and then even just following them around or along throughout their year, because you're I was with that guy. Or we've had the UVA and UGA head coaches for baseball. We're both on. They're having incredible seasons. Duke softball head coach Marissa Young was on it. They're, I think, number 12 in the country for the regionals. We've had some really cool guests, which has been awesome.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Just having that elite repertoire, and you just find out these are just human beings. Yeah. They just happen to have badass jobs and are amazing athletes.
That's right.
Are softball players Chon as much as major leaguers? There got to be some gals out there just spitting through them.
There are some out there. I don't personally know that many of them. I've known one in my time, and it was when I was a player at EMAC has been a big char.
Yeah, upper decker, I'm sure.
But yeah, not very many chewers that will at least females that'll openly tell you that they do.
Did you ever dabble when you were playing?
Yeah, I did for a long time. I ended up, when was it? At Arizona, after Arizona, when I made the switch to USD, USD's head coach had a no chew policy. And so that was okay, let's try it. Went onto the grinds train. Have you ever chewed grinds? It's coffee grinds. It looks like dip pouches. They're coffee grinds. That helped a lot. Was using that for a long time and have been. I'll throw one every once in a while.
Yeah, a little caffeine, little jitters.
Yeah. It depends. I'll feel it every once in a while, you know. But it's more of just having something.
Did it increase your play at all, or is it just part of the baseball culture? I feel like. From what I've heard, I could be way off base of just when you're in the bigs or whatever, you chew. That's what you do.
Yeah, honestly, for me, it started because of how much I wasn't playing. You know, I'm watching so much baseball on the bench in college at that time that I was like, dude, okay, like, whatever. Let's try one trip, you know, and then that turned into a habit. And then you're like, okay,
oh, shit.
Now I'm playing anytime I'm around baseball, like, I'll throw a chew in.
Little chop.
And then it's like I'm out at baseball all the time, you know, and so.
You a skull man? You going cope? You going Riz?
Cope wintergreen.
Cope wintergreen.
Yeah.
A little respect that.
Yeah, that was the go-to. I haven't had a real Cope wintergreen in over a year, probably 2 years, but I have had some straight.
Itching for it? Oh yeah.
Nah, it's been nice because when you finally move off it, you're like, God, no more spitters, no more gross mess. Like my mouth
fucking
feels
water
normal
bottles.
again.
Oh.
Like, yeah, no, it's
That's hey, Tony Gwynn, babe. I mean, if anybody wants an example, like the God himself, you know.
And in San Diego, like that's why his rule was like, hey, if you want any reason not to, like, look at that, you know. And it's like, okay.
No, I knew it wasn't for me. I lost to Keith in rock paper scissors after working at the landfill one day.
Yep.
It's like, all right, I'll put it in the pouch. Within 5 minutes, I was buzzed, drunk, and hungover until I just took that shit out. I just could not imagine
probably
doing
the best
anything.
thing for you.
Yeah, I was happy. Cost my parents a ton of dental bills.
Yeah.
Even leading up to that, I was like, I can't do this to Benny and Debbie.
No, it's a good reason. I encourage those to try it one time to get it out of the way.
Yep.
And hopefully you get sick and you just never
throw up on the bus after eating a burrito. Was it Jared Nay? Calling him. Shout out Jared Nay.
Jay Nay.
Was that him that threw up, or was that Higgins?
I don't even remember, man.
Somebody being silly.
Back in the day.
Some young go-hard, put in some Red Man.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Have some big league chew.
Not even once. Right?
Not even. Let's see, Project Sandlot.
Sandlot,
there?
baby.
What's this? Like,
Yes,
I love the Supreme.
Yeah.
Just variation.
Yeah, thank you. Not Supreme. It's completely.
It's Sandlot. Yeah. Supreme. It's Sandlot.
Yeah, man.
What we got going on there?
So, basic breakdown. Project Sandlot, I guess, is our NFT. If you don't know what that is, it's non-fungible token. It's a way of directing one link that you own to a specific picture, and that link will get you access to things like we kind of have like a pick'em league that we're doing. You can earn some prizes with. Anybody that owns one of them are going to be meeting us out at the World Series. They can go to the College World Series. We'll pick them up for tickets Friday and Saturday. Yeah, so it's going to be good. The main reason we're doing it is for these youth camps. We want to lower costs on some of these camps, be able to put some of them on for free. And so, yeah, we've been selling these. We sold 450 something total.
No
we
big
raised
deal.
like $30K for youth sports, which is pretty awesome.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're still selling them. Got the gear. ProjectSandlot.com is where you'll be able to see that.
Hit them up.
Plug
it, baby. Let's go.
That's right. And then, yeah, anybody that doesn't know anything about crypto, hit me up. Like, I can help you out. It's a weird time.
You're the one that first told me we're, I think, golfing at Wild Wings, and you're telling Skylar and I about NFTs. I just could not understand, like, what the fuck is going on. And that was months ago. That was when it was still first, like,
early
kicking off, and now, shit, you're 3D designing. Look, like, I feel like your artistic skills from when you're starting after making all the NFTs and then now moving into 3D design. Yeah. Like, that's kind of fucking cool.
It's been awesome. It's hard, you know. There's a lot of YouTube tutorials is the big thing, but it's been really cool to kind of, like, be artistic. And I think everybody that plays a sport needs to have something else, you know, and a way for us to get away. And that is it for me. It's like art and video games.
Say that athletes are kind of the modern day, like, warrior poet. Like, you need that creative outlet, and you find yourself being able to be creative on a whim with what you're doing now.
Yeah, much better. You know, in the past with baseball, I think I used podcasts a lot because it was easy. Yeah, I could kind of just dive into that. But even then, I'd always kind of had a thing for, like, video editing. Like, I love doing it, and shout out Miss Goldbar, right, back in the day.
Goldbar
got me into it, right? And
putting some music on it too. Just that's probably my favorite part of, like, matching a certain moment. Say, like, you get a hit and just have the beat drop as the bat cracks the ball.
Feels so good, you know. It's, you know, and making somebody else smile, watch it. Like, yeah, that's something for me. I've always loved doing, and then that's just branched into, like, hey, let's draw these characters, let's learn video, and I'm starting to get into animation, which is, like, a whole nother
That's realm. A whole we could do, like, another podcast just, like, say podcast or baseball, like sports aside, just creativity and just the different programs out there and shit.
I'm down.
It's wild what people can do. Just even like the stylists, or they have their
pads,
their digital pad, and they're just using their stylus, switching the brushes, and just it's incredible what people are doing though.
Have you seen the new Unreal Engine? Bro, for
which video game?
So no, it's like it's like it's a kit. So like all you have to do, you download it's free, so you can use Unreal Engine and you can start modeling and making video games and stuff. Anyways, the new Unreal Engine has this feature where you can take the light in the room and like close the blinds in real time.
What?
And the shadow on the outside and the bounce light on the outside and the bounce light in the room will change as you're moving it around in the thing.
So you can change reality.
Dude.
On a whim.
Yeah. Like they're scanning things, 3D, like trees and stuff and rocks into this program that you can just drag and drop now and like build immersive, realistic worlds in. Like,
and it'll hold its position, its perspective, I guess. No matter, is this like a program you put into your phone or when you're recording?
Yeah, so this is what some of these video games are being built on. So like the new Tomb Raider, I don't know, The Matrix is one. So they built out, when they made this program, they built out an entire New York style city for the Matrix 3D thing with all AI driven cars. All the lighting and stuff. You can change the weather and like you can walk around and fly around in this thing, dude. You have to see it. It's insane because they've found ways now so that like if that's far away from you, they don't bring in all the detail, but the closer you get, they'll bring in millions of polygons. So
I love it,
dude. It's insane. So this is where we're going. This is where we're going.
Been getting video games kind of like went down a little bit. I knew I needed something to like pick it back up. PGA 2K21's been...
Is that the guy?
I love it. And Elden Ring.
Yeah, how is that?
It is so goddamn tough. Like, believe in the hype how tough it is. And then at the same time, it's like the last kind of way that a video game can be like a classic video game where it's a grind. There's only one difficulty and it's just a grind. And it's cool because everybody is facing that same difficulty and I've talked about holler at my boy Ivan Martinez because he's playing like, how do I get past this part? And there's little parts where you can click a message from other players, hey, try this or whatever. So you're just figuring it out, fighting a boss. It sucks because you're gonna die a million times, but it's just a puzzle to solve. How am I gonna beat this fucker?
Is that, how big is that map? Is it huge?
That's big.
Yeah,
big map.
So, dude, I think like that it might have been built on Unreal. Who knows? I don't know.
It's smooth, and even when there's a ton of enemies, because it's a lot. Yeah. It slows down, but it kind of looks like cool kind of anime. It's choppy, but it can flow. You understand what's going. It doesn't ruin itself, and it's a gnarly game. I find myself it's like, oh, I could be writing or editing, but I'm like, I have an hour. Let's get weird.
In. It's all good.
And just when you're finally able to big boy somebody, and because I just got this giant fucking hammer, and like even like this, if you're sleeping on the regular soldiers, like they could tune you up. Like you get killed, you're like, what the hell just happened? Yeah. So never take anybody lightly. There's like small guys, 150 pounds coming in, like they're ready to be bad guys.
How many hours have you put in already?
Lots. Too many. Well, I've been bad the past week because like I finished like a short story, so I'm just in that kind of I've done it, so I can slack off. But it's fun. Like it's a good escape, I guess. Yeah. But I try to. If there's ever a point where I'm playing more video games than I am writing or investing in my other passions, something's fucking wrong. Yeah. So you gotta check yourself.
Means you're not happy doing the writing anymore, or whatever.
Oh, it's just like, is this what I want to be known for, video gaming or like grinding, getting it done, working on a second draft and shit. So it's that shit. That would be the way to get my supplemental income to like finally get something published. That would be the move. As much as the podcasting is dope, to be like an author. Yeah, that's the move,
dude. So. And my wife talks about it all the time. She loves your writing. She loves your writing.
It really warmed my heart, like when people tell you that they're engaging whatever content you're putting out there and say it's writing. Like that meant a lot to me. So like shout out to EMAC. She loves it, dude. That's awesome. I think
And I'll have to show you a couple of things that I found online that makes it easy. But you can put your short stories, and AI will build out a video for you, so it'll do it, and you can read it off and put your voice over it if you wanted to too, which is make it more personal. But it'll make some kind of like slideshowy, video-y type thing that you can it'll upload for yourself.
That's cool.
Super easy. So yeah,
I feel like you're way more you're far more and like staying into like what's going on like right now, what technology is available right now. I'm
on a computer 24/7, dude. Like
it's working though,
and Twitter helps. Twitter gets the insight on.
Shout out to Elon.
That's right,
my boy.
I love that.
Let's go. Next story I don't know if I'll put it out on Instagram just yet, but like I want to like rip the reader's heart out a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a boy with cancer, a little boy.
Man.
That's all good.
What for you when you're writing? What's like your favorite fiction? But like, what's your favorite like genre to get into? Because you've bounced around a little bit.
A little bit. I've just been writing some weird shit. This was the first love like medieval fantasy, magic and shit like that. Yeah. And the one because I wrote like the first draft of like a novel, but I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And looking back at it now, it's so clunky. And now that I've taken, I want to say like 2 years away from it, I'm ready to get back in and kind of make this cyberpunk kind of magic mixer. Like, is it technology or is it magic or somewhere in between?
Blend.
Something like that.
That's
something
sick.
Really just not super fantasy, but I guess like super techno.
Nice.
Techno magic. Fuck it.
I love it.
Yeah. But
dope.
until then, we have the ending portion of the pod, a little off the cuff.
Yeah,
we got it. 10 questions, may or may not have anything to do with what we've been talking about. So here they are. You ready for it? Step up to the plate.
Maybe.
I do like that. I like to sit back, look at it, make the picture wait a little bit for you.
Yeah, if you can't enjoy your walk-up song, what are you doing with it?
What is your walk-up song?
It was No Church in the Wild was the one I had for a long time. Kanye West.
I can dig it. Okay, that's that song.
Until it drops like the line about cocaine, that you gotta use the instrumental, but
it's getting there. Yeah. Instrumental's fine. Yeah, it's all good.
All good.
No, that is a sick walk-up intro. Well, in the same vein of baseball, what is the best ballpark snack?
I'm a nachos guy.
Nachos?
Dude, even at the Winners Little League field, I went into a game the other night. We had a friend playing, but got the nachos with like as many jalapenos as you can get.
Your jalapeno got it too?
Love it.
Circle nachos.
Nachos.
Maybe triangle.
Don't mind the triangles. I feel like I can get a little bit more scoop with the circular ones.
I can dig the circle ones for sure.
Big on that.
Yeah, especially at the Winners Little League Park.
Oh, so fire.
Them and those steamed hot dogs.
Those hot dogs are fire, and for whatever reason, I was talking about the ice that they have there. You get a soda with the ice, and their ice is just like that.
The pellets.
Oh, so good.
Pellets are solid.
So good.
Because now I'm thinking about there's Little League ballpark fare, but then there's Major League where you get your garlic fries, you get some weird shit.
If I'm good, Gilroy garlic fries over there at Giant Stadium, got to do it. That's the go-to.
I sleep on how much candy was available at Little League parks, like the Fun Dips, the sugar straws,
nonstop.
Like if you want diabetes, you can get it.
How did we ever play?
Free soda afterwards. We were just made of rubber back then. We're like no food could hurt us, no injury would stop us. No. Savages. Who is the one MLB player you'd want to interview on your podcast? You've already said you've had it before. Is there anybody else that's on your hit list you'd really want to get? Yeah,
I'd like to talk with Judge. I think would be a cool one. He was at Fresno State while we were at Nevada. So
you went to Fresno State?
Dude.
Is he from California?
I don't know. I think he is from California.
But
God, he was so big, like shaking your hand after a game. But it'd just be cool to hear his story, I think is one. Omar Vizquel was always like my player I looked up to, but with the barrier of the language, I don't know how good that podcast is going to be.
It was cool because Rogan had a podcast with Yoel Romero and Joey Diaz was translating.
Yeah.
And it was kind of dope. It worked out because he could speak a little bit of English, but just Joey fucking Diaz.
Yeah.
Cocksucker.
So good.
That guy. That'd be a cool thing to delve into, not just the white players in baseball, but goddamn it, Dominican Republic, Japanese players, and just the international baseball community.
A Yadier Molina interview would be so sick.
That'd be dope.
But it's a full-time translation.
Well, as you guys expand, and you are going to expand into different sports, into different mediums as well, just to have like cross those. MLU can cross those barriers.
Yeah,
can cross
we'll
those
get there.
language barriers.
We'll get there, baby.
Oh yeah. Best sports movie.
I want to say overall, I like Miracle a lot.
Miracles.
I like
Miracle's
it a lot.
good.
But Bull Durham is my favorite baseball.
Bull
movie.
Durham?
Bull Durham.
Oh, baseball specific. Very
Baseball
good.
specific. If I'm going that way.
I got you. Overall, I go. My fallback, just Remember the Titans.
Oh, that's a good one too.
It's hard.
There's so many.
Baseball though, since that's the topic, we get baseball over Major League. Major League's more of a comedy.
I love Major League though.
It's got that like juice, like it's a comedy, yes, but like towards the end of that movie, it goes into like teamwork and just that fucking grit that you need as a baseball player. So dope.
I love it. We did look it up. We did a reenactment at Arizona.
I gotta see it.
Oh, dude.
On YouTube?
Yeah, search Major League Arizona Baseball. That's all you're gonna need to search.
I get through all the porn right here. Major League Arizona. Major League Arizona Baseball?
Yeah, that's probably all you'll need. That's the one.
Up here?
Oh, this is the second
right
one. Look at me. I'm right there. It's the third one. Either one.
Oh, right here?
Yeah, I think. What does that say?
University of Arizona baseball team.
Yeah, do the top one. Sorry, the Major League one. I don't know if that's a...
I would never.
That's it. You got a commercial. There
There it is. This is my one acting stint right here.
I want to see it. See, let's put it right here.
No.
No, not it.
Yeah, go back to that other one.
Let's see.
Top one right there.
Right here?
Yeah. 300.
Jesus Christ.
Shout out to Sawyer Gieske, who was
Sawyer.
an infielder at the time that made this video. Pretty incredible.
Shot on iPhones or just
No, he had a legit camera.
Looks like Ryan Hogg. MVP in college, wasn't he? Yeah, Santa Rosa JC.
I love it.
Yeah, last year. He did.
So the coaches were down for this and everything.
Yeah, they did it. It was sick.
Oh shit, homeboy's jacked.
Joe Boo.
Joe Boo.
That's in the weight room. What's his best lift? Bicep curls.
Dude, I didn't even fucking recognize the fedora and
The
everything.
fedora
Bicep
makes it,
curls.
yeah.
I love the fedora. Bicep curls.
This dude plays for the Astros now.
Thought you said we didn't have any big name talent. Matt Javick. Picked him up out of Pittsburgh 3 years ago. Had a pretty good summer at the Cape.
Dude, you're killing it, right? The rolled up sleeves.
Yeah, says he plays second base.
The Dorn.
Yeah.
Little shake up, huh?
Oh, shave him. How down to earth are these baseball players?
They're all
Just
awesome.
fucking goofy sons of bitches.
All awesome.
Matt Mays Frazier here. I like Mays and I really like Frazier.
He'll play for the Pirates.
How you doing? How you doing?
Willie Mays Hayes.
Jay Johnson. Nice to meet you, friend. The parking lot is right out there. Thanks.
Everybody distorting their voices.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
fucking cool.
Oh, and don't you guys go anywhere? I plan to put on a hitting display.
That's a nice suit.
I know,
That's
he look
really
fresh.
good. Yeah.
Frazier on the list. I thought he would
Talk about fresh. Look at that jersey.
Oh man.
That's clean. Arizona
Yeah,
Arizona
you got
State.
the patch.
Yeah.
U of A.
U of A.
The U.
I would never.
No, not the Sun Devils.
He's waving the handkerchief. Oh, I love. Oh, that was so clean. That was so good. Nice haircut.
Look at this guy.
Facilities look great over there.
Dude, and that's
Top notch.
they rebuilt those cages since then.
Dude, I see the look in your eye right there. That was solid. Just kind of like.
Yeah, that little stink guy.
These guys just.
Yep. Still shocked.
How fast is he? in real
Frazier's
life?
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's big league speed. He's fast. Now running in pajamas, barefoot. I don't know.
I saw his like kind of stutter step and then turn, do like a five and out.
And that's
Dude, that was clean. Let's
yeah,
go.
dude. Sawyer Gieske.
Oh, I love it. Was he on the team?
Yeah, he was an infielder. He transfer.
I'm impressed. That was solid. Great.
Thank you.
I give you tip my cap to the acting skills.
You.
I like it.
Sorry about blowing off the podcast for 3 minutes of my BS.
Well, it's like we need I need a Jamie or something. Like,
I know.
That up. Or
that'd be sick.
Sometimes you
right
gotta
here,
take some time. Could use it. Take some time to enjoy a little video.
Hey,
somebody comes up with something.
That was nice.
Only 3 minutes too, because you ever somebody like, hey Ray, look at this video, and it's like 15 minutes long.
I was 2 minutes into that going, Jesus, when's this over?
No, but if it's a heater, like, it's good. But that's just recreating a classic. But if you're gonna show somebody a video, like, make sure it's good. Make sure it's not too long. 8 to 9 minutes. I don't got that kind of time.
Yeah,
I got scrolling to do. But here's one for you. Does weed help or hinder a college athlete?
Ooh, I would say, I don't know.
It kind of depends on the person, I guess.
Yeah, it probably hinders if you're getting tested. So you probably don't do it if you're getting tested.
Indeed.
If you're in a state that's legal and you're of age, do your thing. I don't think it hurts as much as some people like to say.
Say it's legal, like it's non-issue.
Yeah, way better for you, I think, than alcohol for sure. Because the time it stays in your system or whatever, or really plays a factor in your stability and whatever, is way different than alcohol is. But gut call, no, it doesn't hinder you. But on the other side, I don't think it helps you really either.
I'd say
it's kind of in between.
Recovery, maybe. The one thing that you talk about if you're getting tested, I remember working at the rec center at Sonoma State, and it's cool. Some baseball players there. One transferred from Oregon because he got pop smoking.
Yeah.
And he's in there with a sweatsuit on, trying to sweat out everything because a drug test is on the way. He just could not stop doing it.
Yeah.
It's like you have this amazing gift and this opportunity to play ball at the collegiate level.
Why do it, right?
I guess if you're ever gonna get close to that risk, why not wait till the off season?
Just do it. Yeah. You have your entire life ahead of you. Just 4 years. That's all you need. Is just stay clean for 4
clean years. I wish that the NFL would pull its head off its ass, letting their players smoke rather than take opioids.
I agree.
Possibly,
1,000% on
fuck, dude. Just let them smoke a little bit. Those guys get rocked 3
40 man. You can smoke on the 40 man. They don't test for baseball.
Oh, no shit.
If you make the 40 man, and even if you go down and you're on the 40 man roster, they won't test. But if you're not on the 40 man roster, you become test eligible, or you were.
Ooh, so if you're good, a little talent tolerance, I guess.
Right? Kind of interesting situation.
Let's see here. All right, so you kind of touched on this earlier, which is kind of cool. Like the coach that went over put his hand over the kid's shoulder, who's kind of freaked out on the mound after giving up the 2 runs. So it's late in the game. Hold on a second. Oh shit! No. All right, that's later. Hold on. Sorry. Bookmark that one. Bookmark. So it's late, and you've been drinking, and your DD asks you where you want to go for them munchies. Where are you gonna go? What fast food joint is your go-to after a night? You're not blacked out, but you're like, you got that hunger. You need something.
Taco Bell 24/7 for me is the go-to. 24/7. Doesn't matter.
What are you getting there?
If I get there and there is not a cheesy gordita crunch for some reason, I'm upset. So cheesy gordita crunch out the gate.
That's solid choice.
2 if I'm really vibing.
Yeah.
And then like something off the dollar menu. One of those beefy cheese burritos or something like that.
So you're not going too hard, just enough to scratch the itch, but not so you're feeling like shit the next morning.
Yeah, 3 cheesy gordita crunches, you're looking to devastate your system.
Yeah.
So,
oh god, the next. An admittance of just absolute being a piece of shit.
Debauchery.
I'd say within the past month, maybe last month I did it. Just was needing to eat, was starving, went and got. I thought it was economical, and that kind of outweighed my common sense of getting like the $10 party box.
Yeah.
Like 5 burritos, 4 tacos.
Yeah.
Just was stoned out of my fucking mind. I ate every goddamn
No way.
I fucking killed the next day.
The $10 box you crushed to your face?
Crushed it.
Oh
it took a while. I was sitting there laying on the couch, and I knew I don't need to eat this last burrito, because I'm already stuck. I've already eaten way more than I ever need to.
Damn.
Fuck it. I'm going for it.
That's insane.
Diablo sauce, just going hard.
How was the next day?
Not good.
No.
Not good. Just the shame, like...
the shame I felt.
Well, it's just... it's kind of like when you go out to eat, and you're like, I want to get my money's worth, but you eat so much that you feel like shit. Like, is that awful feeling worth it? Is that
did you
really
win?
worth it?
I don't know.
No, I was just like, well, tomorrow I'll be good. Just
Yeah,
I'll go into those routines where it's okay. I'll just gorge, and then knowing the next day I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna work out some fucking hard chicken and rice and quinoa, which does happen, but it's just like that explode that gorging happens like once every couple weeks.
Setback.
Yeah,
whatever, dude.
But
do your
it
thing.
it was good as fuck.
If you were happy at the time, you know.
I was happy at the time.
You were at least happy at some point.
No. That's a good takeaway. So, here's one. All right, so one-on-one naked combat. Right?
Okay.
It's balls and bronze, 2 competitors I'm going to give you. It's just a fight to the death. Maybe they're greased up. Maybe it's just sweat, you know. It's just depends on the person. We got the Battle of Killers. OJ versus Aaron Hernandez. One-on-one naked combat to the death.
Weapons or not?
No weapons. Balls and bronze.
I'm going Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez?
Yeah, I'm bringing him back from the Gone Forever.
Yeah.
Aaron Hernandez, I think, has him.
That man, like, OJ's crazy, but, like...
In their prime? Sorry.
I'd say OJ at the time of trial.
Okay, yeah.
Which was...
Still Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah,
right?
I'd give it to him. Have you seen that, like, 30 for 30 on Homeboy and just how batshit crazy he was? Yeah. PCP... murdering multiple people.
The opiates, you know.
I'm sure I was
played a part of, you know.
Just
sketchy stuff.
Hernandez. Don't want to give him the dub, but you kind of like that crazy factor.
Yeah, I don't want to give either the dub, but
no, they're both undeserving.
You know, we're not going to lean into OJ's massive following on Twitter right here. It's how ridiculous is that? First of all,
it just shows you where people's morals are, or what like societal values are, which is just so out of whack and disgusting.
It's insane.
No OJ for me.
No.
I could joke about it, of course, but you're like, oh, it's some people were murdered over 10 years ago. Yeah, we're on the tap, baby. It's all good, no rules. What is the best sound in baseball?
Oh, cleanly struck wooden bat to ball. Just, and I don't even care to hear the stadium sounds. Like, I just want to hear that loud, echoey, clean contact.
That over the aluminum bat for sure. That wooden purity.
Mm-hmm. Or, you know, if you took a wooden bat, and for anybody that played on the Gamblers listening, into Vets Memorial Home.
Yes.
Oh, that hollow, echoey sound is one of my favorites of all time.
That's what's up. Beautiful. That is a beautiful sound. Secondary sounds, I just want to toss out just the pop of a glove.
Pop of a mitt.
Metal cleats on the concrete in the dugout. Just so good.
Yeah,
baseball. Little chat. Just baseball has its own. Even Griffin Kipe, I love him. Could be the best announcing duo other than John Miller and Fleming. They'll kind of just let the murmur of the crowd they'll let it soak in. Yeah. Which is kind of cool. Yeah. Everybody's there just enjoying it. Fucking baseball sounds.
It's the best.
I love them. Okay, here's the question I was going to ask earlier.
Okay.
The pitcher just walked the bases loaded. There's 2 outs. You guys are up by 1, and he's rattled. He walked the bases juiced. And let's see. So what do you say as a coach? You're going up to, like, take him off the ledge. You get the ball, you're squeezing it. Yeah. You don't do this. You don't do this.
No,
you're like, what are you saying to your guy to get him right?
It probably depends on the player. That's the cheap answer. But blanket answer, hey, you're here for a reason. Mm-hmm. We believe in you. We are putting you in this position, and nobody's coming to get you.
I got you.
So take a deep breath. Remember how good you are, and attack him bottom of the zone fastball.
You go any humor at him? Like,
no, generally in that situation.
You got a big dick.
Generally, it again depends on the guy. But yeah.
You gotta know your players.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be saying that to Johnny Left Bench.
No.
But yeah, if you got a dick swinging closer that you need to crack some jokes or just like talk him off the edge, it's always like get back to your breath. Remember how good you are.
Focus.
Yeah.
Pump it.
Chill out. Have fun. Go out and have fun. What's the worst
that's
gonna happen? Yeah.
It's crazy how you stop thinking about how much fun things can really be, and then you play better than if you were ever pressing.
Yep.
Or just being so in your head.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Which sport? It's the loaded answer. Which sport is the best for life metaphors?
Yeah, well,
it's gotta be fucking baseball, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know of any others. I mean, like I'm trying to relate golf to life, but
golf, you could do it. I find myself going back to baseball so much.
Yeah.
Ward would love football. I mean, you can do it, but baseball, just on to the next pitch. I've done some interviews with wrestlers, like that kind of grind, that mentality.
Oh yeah,
that's good on and off the mat. Like just sports in general. It's hard to find better life metaphors or parallels to life.
Question for you, I guess. I know, flip the script here, podcast guy.
Jesus.
Sports? You're a tri-sport athlete, or tri-sport at least. What is your thought on kids specializing nowadays?
I was talking to Ward about it the other day. We're doing a article for the end of the year for all the senior athletes, and he said there's only 4 3-sport athletes these days, and it was just devastating.
What?
To him. It sucks. And when Winners is known to having so much, because you're at a smaller school and you have the opportunity to branch out and try these different sports, play as many sports as possible, because if you focus on one with the parents thinking, Johnny needs to practice year round, he's not going to get burnt out. There's no way he could get injured playing this one sport, as if football or basketball or anything else, it's like, say you're a baseball player, you get injured any day of the week playing baseball, just like you can get injured playing basketball or walking down the street.
Yeah.
Limiting, especially in high school, limiting your play, limiting what you focus on, I think is detrimental, and it keeps you from, I think, a huge part of the social aspect of high school too.
Yeah.
Those bus rides, holy shit, just different people every time. Can hang out with you in football, basketball, I'd hang out, say like Miguel or whoever, and then come baseball time, like we're back in the bus together.
Yeah.
It's just it was such a cool phase every step of the way.
And it broadened. I mean, you were such great friends with so many different groups, right? In high school, I felt the same way, and I think a lot of that because of we played other sports. You know, like I was tight with all the soccer guys because I got to play soccer.
Balled out in soccer.
Yeah, it was awesome. Right? Like that's the best. So like parents that limit these days, and we're small town people. Like that's the belief. You play both ways in football and sometimes on special teams, and then you go to your winter sport, and then you play baseball through the summer. Like that's the way it goes.
Maybe they think that if I focus on one, then that'll increase my chances to going to college and getting a scholarship and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
that's what the travel ball coaches preach, right? Like if you want to make it into college basketball, you have to play whatever that is, right? What do they call that? That summer.
AAU, like stuff. I mean,
like,
I guess summer, if you want to focus on something, maybe go for it. But, like, because we played summer baseball, didn't think anything of it. But to just one sport all year round since you're like 10, you're going to get burnt out. It's going to do more harm than good, I think.
Yeah, no way. Don't tell your kid. There's another one. Don't tell your kid at 9 years old that he's never going to make it in the big leagues. He needs to go play something else. That's stupid. Okay, he's 9.
Oh,
you don't know what he can become. Don't build a roof over your kid's accomplishments. You
look at some of the athletes that are like drafted last or whatever, or just you never think this person's going to make it or get to the next level, but they do.
Piazza is like a 40th rounder or something. Like Colin Kaepernick didn't make it to Nevada as a football player.
He was a baseball player, yeah?
He was picked up at a basketball game he was playing.
What?
The coach thought he was like super athletic and could dunk. They didn't have time to see him in football. They needed a quarterback. They called him, brought him in, and that dude obviously had a hell of a career. But yeah, wild.
That's all it. Like, there's no one way to get to the end result.
No.
And I'd say give yourself multiple ways. Like, play more sports, all the sports.
Free it up. You never know. Like, we have guys that play, baseball that will pick up a golf club, and you're like, damn, that's probably
stud.
It. But if that's all he did his entire life, like he's probably not as athletic.
I guarantee you, majority of like professional athletes can do another sport and still because they played it back. Or I love seeing highlights that say Kyler Murray. That's a crazy example, but just other athletes, say in the NFL, that are stud basketball players, or can have that extra faceted. I mean, it might even help out with other sports. Say you do want to make it big in baseball, and by doing track or whatever, you work on that coordination a different way, and just you add that your skill meters increase playing all these different sports.
So many of those hand-eye coordination and reaction and all that and different types of movements come from so many different sports that, like, why wouldn't you, especially in high school or younger, like go do other stuff? Because when you do finally get forced into one sport, right? Like you'll have those already ready. So.
Which is like, it's okay. Like once you get to college or whatever, play some club soccer or whatever. Just don't get injured.
Yeah.
But I guess then when it's serious, it's okay to take it seriously. But like high school, play the sports.
Yeah.
Play ball.
Get out.
Oh God, sports metaphors. And then if you could, all right, you're pitching, right?
Okay.
If you could bean any player in MLB history, if you could just pluck this guy, who would it be?
AJ Przinsky, bro.
Przinsky?
Yeah, AJ Przinsky. I think he's a boob, as they say.
Quite the boob.
Total boob. I don't know. It's just every time I saw him play, like I was just like, this guy's in it for himself.
Not about the game.
And I don't know him.
What about A-Rod?
A-Rod's a guy too. He's grown on me a little bit over the years, you know, and his announcing and stuff. He still makes me want to punch him, but
yeah, absolutely.
But I think Przinsky takes it over him.
It's Manny Machado for me.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
He's on the Padres now, yeah.
Yeah, and
just can't stand it. Like you hit the nail on the head though. We don't know these guys personally, but at the same time, you see some of the antics on the field. You're like, you are a piece of shit. Like dragging, like sticking your metal cleats into like second baseman, trying to break up a double play, but your spikes are up.
Not on my team, brother.
No, get the fuck out of here. That'd be tough. Say there's a kid with a bad attitude, and you like it's best for the team. Like just cut the gangrenous limb.
Cut the cord, dude.
Is that good? I mean, I don't know what good comes of that. I guess the team doesn't have to be around that toxicity anymore, but hopefully it changes that bad attitude kid's point of view.
Yeah, I mean, when I went into tough situations coaching wise, luckily I didn't have to like axe dudes, right? Like that wasn't my role. But to have those conversations a lot of times was like, hey, this might be the most important thing this kid hears ever. You know?
Yeah.
Like it sucks at the time. Like I don't ever want to be the hard guy and like yell in a kid's face or tell him like that's wrong. But sometimes you have to, because how else are they going to...
Good old-fashioned ass chewing to some kid who doesn't think the world could touch him.
Yeah.
That probably... And it'd be so dope to see them, like, realize it later on. Like, thank you for metaphorically knocking some sense in me, I guess.
Yeah. And you never know when it's going to work and when it's not, right?
Or they spiral out of control. And,
it's all on you.
Aaron Hernandez. Like, you're the one. Like,
it's all on you.
He's, like, on trial for murder.
Shit.
Ray.
Yeah.
Ray, Coach McIntire.
No, I know. That's not what you want. But
no. What I do want is for you to plug how are people going to interact with your content? You got Major League University. Like, give us what
the
we need
full
to know.
plug. Major League
us.
University. I think it's at Major University on Instagram, at Major League University on Twitter. Either one is vice versa. Either way, if you look up Major League University, we got all the plugs on the website.com, majorleagueuniversity.com. ProjectSandlot.com. That's also linked in there. A little bit different site. If you like pick'ems, dude, like this is it.
Indulge.
Do that, and that has all of our charitable side too, where we're putting on the camps and stuff. So.
$30K raised so far,
dude. 30K, and
that's wild.
And it's weird because it's in ETH, so it like fluctuates. So like if it sits in there and it goes up, like kind of more. If it goes down, it's kind of less. But 30K is where we're at, and I don't know, pumped that it's been going so well.
Keep going, dude. That's wild.
Yeah, dude.
Up and up, baby. Thank you for coming on the pod.
Thanks for having me, dude.
This
has been great.
We've just been like chatting about it for a while, but finally, got it done.
It's about time.
Tappy, baby.
Hey,
tap it, baby.
Tap.
All right, guys. Goodbye.
You lose. Good day, sir.